Never before in history did we have to fight with our own country for the security of our own country. The Kate Daly Show starts now.
We shall propose further cooperative efforts between all the nations in weather prediction and eventually in weather control. A
moment ago, you asked, about people and feeling not only confused, but low and down in America. First of all, the American people, if they would just take a little inventory and look around, you triple our troubles, and we're better off than any other people on earth. And we've asked so much of government, and we've gotten in the habit over the last 40 years of thinking that government has the answers. There's very little that government can do as efficiently and as economically as the people can do themselves. And if government would shut the doors and sneak away for about 3 weeks, we'd never miss them.
At this point, I'd say 3 years. They could sneak away for 3 years. 30 years. Wouldn't miss them. Oh, you guys, I just wanted to say about Washington, D.C. How many crazy weather events has Washington, D.C. had? Just asking. One earthquake, I think it was in Virginia, maybe 10 years ago. But they got the fallout a little bit, But, yeah, they don't get a lot of weather events there. Just everywhere else. Strange, isn't it, when you start to really think about it? That was a clip from JFK talking about eventual weather control because he knew it was coming. Everyone has known. And they like to play this little game that says, if you believe in HARP, you're crazy. No, you're not crazy. And there's far more about this. I was reading an interview with a scientist, and the scientist was talking about, really talking about how she was using nanotech in the cloud seeding, and that she had pilots. And what's funny is she just kind of glossed over that part. Oh, and I have pilots that are testing it. Really? Where? Interesting, because if you say this, you're a crazy person, yet they're admitting it all the time in front of your face. And so she said, yeah, I have pilots testing this, and we put nanotech in the cloud seeding junk, and it's been very successful so far. I'm like, wow, that's interesting. So that scientist, strange thing, but it's the truth. And I'll have to post that interview. It was Dr. Zhou, S-Z-O-U, Dr. Zhou. I'm the name murderer, whatever. And when she was being interviewed, they said, well, cloud seeding has been around for decades. How long does this, technology move toward a greater success rate? And Dr. Zhou said, well, as we know, atmospheric water is one such alternative resource. And at the moment, all possible solutions could resolve the water shortage. Government getting out of water could solve the water shortage. About 2 seconds. She said nanotechnology can engineer material and design the material with well-controlled size, shapes, and properties. So it has huge possibility to improve efficiency of said cloud seeding. Yeah. And this went on and on and on. And she said, to achieve this, we use the nanotechnology to deposit titanium dioxide nanoparticles as a shell layer and sodium chloride crystal core. And this nano-engineered shell core structured material can be activated at a much broader relative humidity condition, such as like 65%, because the coated nano layers are more hydrophilic and porous, and the water can be absorbed easily and increase the local relative humidity of the crystals and increase the probability of forming water droplets. And so it has a synergistic effect. And she just went on and on, so proud of herself, and that they filed this patent and to make it bigger through nanotech. There's all kinds of stuff going on. So don't let anyone tell you there's not. And don't let anyone go, oh, I can't believe you would think this is a conspiracy. Really? In this day and age? Are you kidding me? Look around. Goodness. All right. So I need to talk about the strike now. Okay. We got to talk about the strike. So 47,000 people on strike from Maine all the way down to Texas. Last time this happened, it was 1977. The strike lasted 45 days. Now, keep this in mind, because this could actually affect all of us, and the longer it goes. And here's the reason. for every single day that they are striking, then you have 4 to 5 days to make up for it with the economy. It takes 4 to 5 days per every day they're on strike. Okay, to put things back together again. Now, the last one, 1977, 45 days. Okay. The other part of that is why they're striking. And part of it I agree with. They're actually anti-automation. They don't want their jobs to be sold off to automation in cranes, automation in all kinds of things. I get that. That's a good thing. Okay. They're making, I think, $39 an hour. I think the West Coast is making $56 or $7 an hour. So they wanted a big increase in pay, but they also want the automation to go away. The automation of cranes, gates, container moving trucks used in the loading and unloading of freight. Okay. I kind of get what they're doing. Terrible timing, terrible timing, but I get what they're doing. Yet, what is this going to affect? What happens, right? Especially right now. Is this just the beginning? Look at this week, you guys. Look at this last 48 hours. Okay. You could even go a little higher than that. Let's say 3 or 4 days. Major storm hits areas it has not hit, and all kinds of fallout. And the news pretty much wasn't talking a lot about it until after. Okay. It was hitting really hard. And so you have this thing that we're dealing with in a storm. You have Iran sending missiles over. They said 180 ballistic missiles over to Israel. I still want to make sure that's actually true. I don't believe anything the AP says. I don't, because they've been wrong so often, and they're so into telling you what the narrative is. Then we also have a strike that started at midnight that could actually result in the shortages of perishable products, bananas, all kinds of products that mostly come through those eastern ports. A lot of stuff's going to get funneled to the west, but you're going to have a lot of gridlock. You're going to have a lot of problems, and all you're going to see is the prices go up on everything in a time when you can barely make it right now. You're barely making the bills. You're actually working just to pay your bills, I'm going to probably say. For most people out there, they're working just to get the bills paid that they can pay. So can you imagine higher prices on all kinds of goods, cars, you name it, everything. So we're looking at all beer, wine, whiskey, scotch for you drinkers out there. I think I'm going to become a drinker after this week. My gosh, the news. Holy cow. Beer, wine. No, I don't drink. Beer, wine, whiskey, scotch, and rum. We're looking at car shipments. We're looking at fruits and vegetables, wood products, coffee, cocoa, soybeans, seafood, meat, eggs, all kinds of stuff. Call back 888-673-1450. I didn't get there fast enough. Look, all kinds of stuff going on. Delaware is the leading port for the Dole Fresh Fruit Company and Chiquita. So all kinds of higher prices and problems. If I were you, I'd probably be if you're worried about Christmas, I might probably do that now. I would probably get some things done. Just make sure you have things in your house. But yeah, 4 to 6 days actually to clear a backlog from just a 1-day strike. That's why it matters. This strike probably it should be top of the news, even above Iran and Israel, striking at each other. If that's the case right now, I'm not going to say if it's the case, because you could clearly see things landing, but I would still make sure that the stories that they're telling you are true. They lied about Syria. They've lied about, you name it. They've lied about it when it comes to the Middle East. Hi, caller. Welcome to the show. Go right ahead.
Well, hey, Kate. How are you doing?
I'm good. What's on your mind?
Well, I just wanted to give a little bit more information about the strike that I was looking into. Mm-hmm. So the workers right now, they already make between $100,000 and $200,000 a year. Mm-hmm. They were a little bit disgruntled because on the West Coast, they, I guess, were pushing their union on the West Coast, and they were able to get a 30% increase, which is why their wage is a little bit higher right now.
Yep, they did.
However, on the East Coast, they have already turned down a 50% increase in their wage over the next 6 years.
Yes.
Because they want to have more of a 77% increase
which
of
is
their wage.
Crazy.
So you couple that with the fact that they just had that massive hurricane. And honestly, every single coastline that they touch has been affected by that. They could and should put the strike on hold. The president also has the power to put the strike on hold for 80 days.
Yeah.
And what is he doing? He has washed his hands of this and said, there's nothing more that I can do.
Yes.
Mr. Union, Mr. Blue Collar Joe, Poe, whatever.
Yeah.
It's absolutely the timing of it. It feels like, and I'm sorry to say, but these union bosses are on the take to make as much chaos as possible to take down everything coming up before the election and try to destroy everything and unravel the economy befy we get where we need to be.
Amen.
Come on, November.
Amen. So much of what you said was in my notes. Yes.
Amen. I know that all these people are like, oh, unions are communist. Right? Like, let's just wrap our brain around that. We have this section of our working class in America as a communist entity. These people, it looks really greedy and really anti-American for them to literally be causing more pain to those people who are going through what they're going through with the hurricane aftermath.
Yeah.
And if anybody is feeling sorry for them, I don't know why they would be.
Yeah.
Right now, honestly, let the automation come in.
Yeah,
you walked off the job?
Yeah.
Maybe we should just let the robots take over.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, I get it. That was the only part that I was like, okay, I get that. I get that, not wanting the automation. But yes, you're very right about that. And as far as King Dingaling and his administration, all they kept saying in the press was they're apprised of what's going on. I'm like, that's it? I mean, you're apprised anyways. So but what do you expect with a guy with a helmet on? I mean, it's Dingaling. So thank you so much. I really love the phone call. Thank you. I really appreciate that. And I'm with you. There's a lot happening. October, is it going to be pure chaos the entire month? Feels that way right now. Be right back. Kate Daly Show, KateDalyRadio.com.
Experience